Okay, we're gonna continue on this train apparently. Why is everyone leaving the company?
There's a topic I cover from time to
Ding ding!
time that always seems to ruffle some feathers and get people squirming in their chairs in anger because I have less than kind things to say about some of the biggest players in the industry. But I just can't help myself. I can't bite my tongue on it. I'm like Winnie the Pooh poking a beehive because I'm addicted to the honey
Oh
inside. And in
no.
this case, that honey is vindication. For a while now,
Vindication!
I
Sorry.
have bah humbugged VTuber agencies. I've seen a lot of the contracts that some of the top talent were under locked into with these organizations, and they are extraordinarily corrupt. I think the agencies in this space are exploitative and they treat their talent more like prisoners. It is unbelievable the depths of greed that these agencies in the VTuber space have succumbed to. But before I dive deeper into the spaghetti and the meatballs on my disdain for VTuber agencies,
I like spaghetti and meatballs.
in the industry, I would like to give you the catalyst for why I'm talking about it again today. It's because Iron Mouse just made a really sad video
She did.
about why she's leaving Vshojo.
Mm.
Vshojo being another huge player in the VTuber space.
Ah, yes, the monotone bomb himself. Oh. Um, at some point, making streaming your career is a two-sided blade. On one hand, you make your own schedule, rules, etc., while on the other hand, you will have a big ass gap on your resume. Yeah, yeah. But if that's what you want to do, does it matter? Everyone's smaller than Mouse. It's not a knock on anyone to acknowledge that. Yeah, exactly. It's not a knock on anyone. Exactly. Thank you. Ah, Charlie is one of my favorite drama tubers since the dude says mostly stuff I agree with. Mm-hmm. Meaty and bally sauce pasta. Yeah. Yeah. I, it's okay. You can take it.
They are a massive agency that's represented some of the top talent.
Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by Vshojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from Vshojo.
For those that don't know who Iron Mouse is, she is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch in terms of subscribers. She even broke the all-time subscriber record,
She
and
did.
she has a primary immunodeficiency disease. She
And she's amazing. Eat the pasta, put it in a box, bring it here, and put it in my. What the Mario probably. That's when you lie and say you were self-employed. That's what I'm going to have to do soon. That or to start my own business. I'm even gonna go back for being a janitor. Sweet Mika. The problem. Yes, my only excuse is that I'm the current caretaker for my sister. My mom works. That is a good excuse. It's not an excuse, it's the reality.
has CVID. So she does a lot of charitable work for this organization, and
She does.
apparently she's just discovered that Vshojo hasn't fully paid what they owed her personally, and they haven't paid the money that they owe to the charitable foundation that she was fundraising for, something that she does often, but Vshojo is required in this process because they handle her money in certain cases, which is not uncommon in the space. Like,
It's not.
I'm gonna get deeper into like a lot of things with VTuber agencies that I've tiptoed around quite a bit in the past, but I want to like fully go into the weeds of it here. But let me just go ahead and explain where that number's coming from, the $500,000 owed to charity that Vshojo still hasn't paid.
Mm-hmm.
They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked Vshojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, Vshojo has not paid the charity.
So in a nutshell, Iron Mouse ran a subathon. It was extremely successful and raised a ton of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. And Vshojo did pay it out the first time around, but when she came back for the second time the following year, it was even bigger, it broke records, and it raised over $500,000 that were supposed to go to the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Can I say, I don't understand why. Like, now I'm starting to, process everything a little bit more. We are 2.5 videos in. I'm starting to think. Yes, it hurts. My question is, why? They did it the first time around, so why not this time? What happened? What was the reason that they were like, nope? Were they in too much debt and they weren't telling their people? If you're good at something. Because greed. Yeah, that is true. Greed is, if they kept the money for themselves, probably trying to wash it off as some bullshit expense. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It just, I don't understand why the first time they did it, but the second time their Ponzi scheme imploded, probably. Yeah, maybe they were like, you know what? All the big boys are doing it. Why can't we? We have enough talents, quote unquote. Might as well take a little bit of money. In the end, don't quote me on that and do not clip it out of context. It's just for charity, right? Oh, oh. Or I hate you. This angered me. Not a clip. They did it for the first time to keep Mouse with the company. I mean, of course, Mount. We will, of course, Mount. Of course, Mouse. We will send them the money. See, we did it the first time. Trust us. Point. They were playing the long con. Same reason banks lose your money. They invest into something not caring about the risk. Also, another point. Yep. This is where my naivety comes. I am in that aspect a little bit like Mitzi. I sometimes don't understand stuff like this. Maid will be painting. Not very experienced in big trades, unfortunately. But also starts a counseling for young boys and teens. You could.
That has still not been paid out to the charitable organization to this day, according to Iron Mouse. Now, I've seen a little bit of confusion, people wondering why would Vshojo even be handling that money in the first place? Why wouldn't it just come directly from Iron Mouse since it's her Twitch? Well, that's where you get into the really stinky territory where, in a lot of cases, these agencies, they handle the finances of the talent. Like, they put their grubby paws on it before the talent does. So it's not uncommon in the space for the agreement between talent and agency to have the agency directly handle like their Twitch subs and their Twitch revenue and their Twitch ads, that kind of thing. And in the full video, Iron Mouse goes deeper into this, so I highly encourage you to check out the full thing for the entire scoop. But in her case specifically, that was actually kind of
Please watch Iron Mouse's first, then this, because it gives a bit more perspective.
Appealing to her because then she would be able to stay even more private because she really values her anonymity. So having Vshojo involved in that process was actually kind of a big deal to her. And for previous fundraising through Tiltify, it wasn't a problem, but when it came to the subathon money, since it was going through Twitch subs and everything, it meant Vshojo was going to be involved in this process. And the first time it was fine, it apparently went off without issue, but this time when the money was even higher, well, some kind of screws must have went loose over there at the Vshojo headquarters. I guess that shit just fucking burst into flames or
It disappeared because it's online. Remember, you don't even touch that money. It goes directly to a PayPal or a bank account, whatever you choose. Um, those shits. Unless they had immense debt. Unless they somehow had debt. Oh, I fucked my pen. Unless they had debt and the money was given and then immediately removed. But then they shouldn't have made it like that. Hmm. 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 Vshojo, what were you hiding? Hmm. I probably hope that no one would notice. As a young, what would you? I. Yeah. To work for a year under a professional. Eventually, they will recommend you for the actual course, and then you can do it on your own. How to deal with depression, false allegations, suicide, and building resilience, just to name a few. Yeah, and it's gone. Investment manager in South Park. Yes, that's good. Don't get me wrong, but remember, therapists are still. I don't want to bring you down or anything. And it's gone.
Something, and they just haven't got around to it. They're still putting out some fires, and they'll get to it any day now. Vshojo would be responsible for donating that money on her behalf, an obligation that they still haven't fulfilled all this time later, according
And
to
they will not.
Iron Mouse.
Okay.
It's
okay.
diabolical.
I'm gonna add allegedly to that. Please don't sue me. I'm poor. Allegedly. And they will never, because they filed for bankruptcy. So all their debts, all their owed, all their issues, they are gone. They are gone.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, thank you. Allegedly. They yeah.
Withholding over $500,000 to charity,
Hey, go
and
on.
also withholding money that Iron Mouse is allegedly owed as well.
Therapists are on. I don't know how to cooperate. Oh. Vshojo will probably file for bankruptcy, so they'll just pocket the money. Exactly. Allegedly. 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 I'm just gonna say that word a few times. Allegedly. That sentence, allegedly. That other sentence also allegedly. Yeah, or pay off the lawyers.
And what's even crazier is how unsurprised I am by it. Now, full disclosure, I didn't know too much about Vshojo's inner workings. That was one of the few agencies I wasn't super privy to on like the behind the scenes of. But I'd always heard good things, but I always had skepticism because of how the industry functions at the agency level from the other ones I know. And this kind of dirty, scummy, greedy business is just so standard for these agencies in the space. It is sickening. Now, Vshojo is going through big turbulence right now. They're losing some of their top talent. Like even before Iron Mouse's video, about a month ago, they made a post about how
Giga, yeah. At the time of this video, Vshojo had not yet filed for bankruptcy. If I recall correctly, though it was strongly suspected they would. And they did, yeah, and then they did. At least the Balkans thing are right for now. But yeah, I can understand. Yeah. Yeah. And they did. Yeah. Okay.
Giga was going to be departing Vshojo. And then just 48 hours later, they announced Zin would also be leaving Vshojo, one of their original members. So there's definitely been some, curious Georges out there wondering what's going on at Vshojo that's got everyone leaving. What's this exodus from Vshojo all about? Fun fact, Giga is actually with us at Cheeky now. We're not like a VTuber agency. That's not what I'm trying to get across. Our soap. She really likes our soap. Cheeky
is his soap.
soap. So she's partnered with us at Cheeky, and she is an absolute sweetheart. That's what I was trying to get across. The point is, so I'm like,
we're not a VTuber agency. He was like, wait a minute, I messed up. Imagine Charlie setting up a VTuber agency. Only chicky VTubers. Yes, yes, yes. Good night, Reaper. Take care of yourself. Have the most restful and serene sleeps. See you soon. Take care of yourself, okay?
Really good people have been leaving Vshojo, and now Iron Mouse have dropped this video about some very alleged scummy practices
You
here
gotta say the alleged.
at the Vshojo corporate level, and I don't know how Vshojo recovers from it going forward.
Doesn't.
They haven't made
Charlie and me from the future, they don't.
a statement yet. It's still a little too fresh as of me making this video. I'm very curious what they're going to say about it. If I had to spitball, I would imagine that their next play will be donating that money to the charitable foundation. I imagine they donate the 515.
I don't think they did, right? Did they eventually do it? You can see my mouth. For legal reasons, alleged. For non-legal, no. Okay, they didn't. Just bankruptcy. Yep. Allegedly. Allegedly. I'm just gonna say that word a few times.
Or whatever the exact number was. I bet they'll do that to desperately try and save face. I don't think the community will respond well to it because it's very clear that they're just doing it now because of the public pressure that's being exerted on them. I don't know how they move forward with a good reputation. I don't think all of their talent's going to leave overnight. I imagine a lot of those contracts, in fact, I'm confident a lot of those contracts lock them down for quite a while with like some non-disparagement clauses in there and everything. Like
Possible,
I bet there is a lot of things at play where the talent won't be able to leave even if they really want to. And I can only hope that the community here doesn't start attacking the Vshojo talent for staying, because I imagine in a lot of cases they don't have a choice. Now, that's kind of the situation in a nutshell, but I want to dive deeper into agencies as a whole. I've kind of teased it a little bit throughout the video. And I know people like to talk about
Chicky VTubers? I've not heard of them donating. I assume the money just doesn't exist. All their talent left within 48 hours. I think they had pretty loose contracts then. Yeah. 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 With I think one exception who left like a day later. Oh, okay. Listen, we do not hold it against the talents. This was just scamming behavior. But I don't know. I'm still, what bothers me is after all these years of working as a successful VTuber agency, of doing all this crap, right? Why now? What changed? And I know you guys are probably like, well, yeah, but they just wanted to take the money and run with it to the woods. But why now? 5 years later of working and getting new people and leaving you and you know the in and outs and all that crap, why now? What happened? Or they realized Vshojo didn't have the money to sue them for breach of contract while in bankruptcy proceedings. Point. I think the money ran out. I think so too. I think so. Maybe. Yeah. Allegedly. Just gonna put that in there every few seconds. Yeah. Maybe they didn't do good management. Maybe they lost a lot of money on things that we don't know about. Again, I'm not trying to protect them right now. It's just I'm one of those people that always wants to know both sides of a coin. Like, okay, I see this side, let me see the other one as well. I will still come to potentially the same conclusion as you, but I want to do it out of my own choice rather than because you told me to do it. You know, does that make sense? I think I'm making sense. I hope so. Yeah.
YouTubing as a whole, like it's some kind of niche that's not mainstream. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry,
It is.
and it is so lucrative. And these agencies have swooped in and made sure they are the ones getting the lion's share of
Mm-hmm.
that money, and they'll kind of trickle down, drip feed a little milk from their titties to the talent that's under their umbrella. And what's even more disgusting is they fed people shit and gave them a taste for it, an acquired palate, normalizing their greed, where
Mm-hmm.
the talent, the ones that are actually gathering the audience, the actual VTubers, they don't see most of the money that they bring in.
No.
The agency does. That includes merch. That includes their Twitch subs. That includes YouTube revenue. Pretty much any piece of the pie that has dollars, doubloons in it.
Doubloons! Do you guys know the doubloon cat?
Sorry.
The agency is the one that's got their fingers in it, and the VTuber gets pieces of it, tiddlywinks. And I think it is so ass backwards. It has always rubbed me the wrong way. So I've always talked very negatively about VTuber agencies.
So, just to understand a bit, I'm very sorry. I am thinking and understanding stuff because I never really looked into VTuber agencies. Even as a VTuber myself, I always wanted to be indie, but because of certain reasons. It is what it is. I'll grow in my own time. What I wanted to say also, probably no one would want me, but what? No, that's a secret. So it's like getting hired to work at a corporation. You do your monthly thing, right? You bring in a ton of money. Ah, me cow, you heard it. No, I'm strong. I take it up. I take it strong. Oh well, strong. So you do your monthly thing, like you work from the 1st to the 30th or 31st, and then they're like, okay, you worked, you streamed for so many hours. Here you go, 5K. I'm saying a bigger number, but because I'm assuming, I hope that at least they get paid better than at retail or normal jobs. Or does it go like, okay, you made in subscriptions and ads and boo so much, you out of that you get like, let's say 20%, we keep the rest. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry if instead of reacting, I'm causing more questions. It's just, this is also my react, okay? I am questioning. I am reacting. Yeah, I try to give everyone, even companies, the benefit of the doubt, and I give it to both Vshojo and their talents, even though I was Team Nux in the incident years ago. But if they move themselves unworthy of that, yeah, if they prove themselves unworthy of that, exactly. I just always look at both sides because I think it's more fair. I think that depends on the corp. Mm, mm. That's true. That's true because there are a lot of agencies out there. Um, hmm. Was that one of the babies? That was one of the babies. That is my little baby. Let me explain how insurance works. We take your money. That's it. Monty Python. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. By the way, I wanted to mention something earlier, but I forgot about it, so we're going to do it now. I loved how Mitzi's subscriptions are called scams. And has been getting scammed for 16 months and so on and so on. That was so funny. They were ahead of their time. Straight Monty Python, yes.
Much to the chagrin of the VTuber audience.
Okay.
The audience that watches VTubers is very loyal to their favorite creators in the space. So they get very upset when the 5'6" Florida man Neanderthal shoots spitballs at the agency that represents their favorite VTuber, because the community, like the relationship between the agency and the VTuber, is one that's supposed to be built on like a tight connection, like this partnership, almost like a family. But nothing could be further from the truth. It's about as much of a family as like the prison warden is to the prisoners. I just think it is completely unacceptable the way a lot of these agencies treat their talent. I also think a lot of people have been completely misled by them on the industry as a whole, where they act like there's only one path to success when it comes to VTubing. Or at least they did, not so much these days. It's starting to kind of get a little more clear that you don't have to sign with them, but for the longest time, It was as if there was only one path to success in the space, which was signing with an agency, where they basically give you a
MD for life. I will make my own agency, and I will call it Floof Agency, and I will be just myself.
career. They grow you through their net.
This genius, I didn't notice the scums. Yes, I noticed them, and I was like, why didn't I think about that? Monty Python Watch Party. Never got here to watch it though. Sorry. I mostly like his takes on in this video, but I think people are much more loyal to talent than companies. I think so too. Yeah. I don't think that people are loyal to the company. I think they're loyal to the streamer. In this case, the VTuber. I have a feeling that if how do I say that without causing waves? So in this case, Iron Mousy goes, her audience is like, we are here for you. They did not fight for Vshojo, they fought for her. Well, fought. No one really fought. Everyone is okay. No one died in this case. But I really think that VTubing has some really tight-knit communities, but they have nothing to do with the agency behind that. Many talents just choose to join an agency because it makes it a little bit easier for them, or because they're not as business savvy as they would wish to be. But yeah.
Work. They give you all the tools to grow, but they basically own you. And I know the argument a lot of people make is, well,
more like fought in the activism kind of way. Yeah.
They gave you your career.
No, they didn't.
You owe them like 90% of the money that you generate. That makes sense. Without them, you were nothing.
No, I strongly disagree with that. I know he's joking, but not joking. I know he's going to come to the conclusion that that's not true. I know it in my jellies. I feel it coming, but that's not true. Just point. No questioning. That's not true. And
I just think that is completely delusional. I think you've been brainwashed to think that. It's a little different nowadays where so many people are doing really well independent. There are so many independent VTubers that are crushing it, and a lot of formally contracted talent for agencies have left to be indie and are still doing really well. So it's being proven that you don't need these agencies to succeed as a VTuber. Exactly. And I understand, like, you know, they do help speed up the growth of the career because then they just plug and play to like their network and just have eyes on you.
Exactly what I was saying. Hey, I'm a little smart
by default. But from everything I've seen, it just never really seems worth the trade-off. Like, you never get a better deal. So like,
he's quoting what the company would say or a company stan, which is insane, might I add. Yes, straight. If any company said that to any of the VTubers that we see, the big ones, and not just the big ones, medium-sized, small-sized, if anyone ever said that to someone trying their absolutely hardest, not just with streaming, but you also do merch, you also do managing, you also do everything, and they go like, yeah, but we did this because we plugged you. Fuck off. Huh?
Let's say you start with them and then you...
Because then we come back to my original take on no matter how much you get plugged, right? If people don't like you, they will not stay. Even if you're the biggest sensation. Even if you are the biggest sensation, people are not dumb. People have their own preferences. People have their own likes. If they don't like someone, they will not stay.
Explode and become the biggest VTuber in the world. All the ones I've seen, the contracts don't scale with that success, so you still are locked into a bad deal.
Yeah.
And now the agency just makes a killing off of your success, and you kind of stay in the same spot, more or less. Like, it just doesn't ever really feel worth it to do that when you can still be very successful without these agencies. And it just sucks to see that it is still so common that these agencies are greedy scumbags, like in this case here with Vshojo, apparently. But anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's about it.
Oh, Polar, thank you so much for that, buddy. This was a tough react. See ya. See ya, Charlie. No company makes anyone. The community and their own effort, charisma, and personality does. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this was a tough situation. It really was a tough situation. I'm glad I get to see it after so long because I see where things are now and that the people affected are doing indeed just fine. Okay, the money they're indebted, they're never gonna get that. I'm sorry. But at least they're okay. They're still thriving. They're still working their little butts off. Just now they're independent. The way I think of it, getting popular is partially luck, but you can put in work to increase your odds of getting lucky. And if you're not working hard and making good content, if when you get lucky, it won't matter. Exactly. So while luck does play an aspect, indeed, in all type of content creation, whether it is streaming, YouTubing, short making, um, whatever you want to call it. Oop, sorry, I've been yeeting my pen around because I am a little bit restless from these videos. Luck does play a factor because you got to be at the right place at the right time sometimes. But if you are a rotten mango, hey, even if you get rated by the biggest, most brilliant person out there, if you're a rotten mango, people might follow. They might follow just to be like, hey, look, we're gonna make a wave. That person brought us, we're gonna make a wave. We're gonna make you like tear up and feel the love, right? But what's the point if they never come? Right? Like luck plays a factor, but in reality, it's your own hard work as well. Mongrel. What did I do now? I didn't do it. It was me. There, most people don't give a fuck. Hmm. So yeah,